And we are live. Good to see everybody. It's another live unboxing here on the channel. It's Andrew. It's Saturday, June 24th, 2023, 10:02 a.m. Pacific time here in Las Vegas, Nevada. Hope you can see me and hear me okay. Hope everything is coming in nice and clear. All right, so today we have a really good one here. We have the Zenbook Pro 16X OLED, the UX7602. Now, this is a pretty decked out model. This is pretty great if you're a content creator, fully loaded here, folks. So I'm glad that ASUS sent this over, and we're going to get it out of the box. We're going to do some testing here live on the channel. And then, of course, I'll bring you my full review as I always do. Now, this was sent over by ASUS as a review unit. I'm not being paid or being sponsored by ASUS, as you know. They're not getting copy approval on anything I'm doing. And of course, we're doing this live, so they cannot do that anyway. So the bottom line is that once this is done, I will return it back to ASUS. And of course, that's how it works. Now, as far as getting this availability and so forth, I didn't see a pricing yet. So just so you know, I did put a link to last year's model over at Best Buy. And that's a pretty good model as well. So you may want to check that out. Link will be in the description below. Now, the older it's a DMB 3428 says the older he gets, the more screen size he needs. Yeah, I'm in that camp as well. That's for sure. Good to see Mr. Rainbow Loves Coffee. All right, good to see you once again. Richie's here. We got Amit D, and we got Abraham here. Good to see you. Glad you could catch me live. Watching from Bangladesh is Kaji. Good to see you. And then we got, of course, our moderator and friend, Rafael Perez. And good to see all you folks here. We got about 35 of you as we kick this off. Now, let's get to the specs on this. I have it right here. And you can see here that this has some pretty interesting and pretty good high-end specs. Now, as far as the display is concerned, we're looking at a 16-inch 3200 by 2000 display, and yes, that is a 16:10 aspect ratio. It's got 120 hertz OLED display. It's a touchscreen display. It does have pen support, so that's really good. Nice little bonus there. The CPU, it's running the Intel Core i9, I should say, 13905H or 13905H. We'll get into that a little bit. And then, of course, it's got the NVIDIA GeForce RTX 4080 with 12 gigabytes of GDDR6 VRAM. And it's got, you can get this with up to 32 gigabytes of really fast LPDDR5X RAM. It's 7467 megahertz. That's pretty fast. That might be the fastest I've seen so far. And then you can configure this with up to 2 terabytes of NVMe M.2 SSD storage. It's got Wi-Fi 6E, Bluetooth 5.2, 96 watt-hour battery. It is pretty special here. I mean, this is pretty loaded, folks. Now, as far as the other specs are concerned, as the next panel will load in about a few seconds as we get there, it's now got a weight of, or does have a weight of approximately, and we'll get our own measurements, 2.4 kilograms or 5.291 pounds. It's got a full HD camera with IR, meaning you can log in with Windows Hello. It's got a privacy shutter. The color is tech black. We'll see how much fingerprints that collects. Hopefully not too bad. It's got pretty good audio from what I understand. 6-speaker system, 2 tweeters, 4 woofers, sound by Harman Kardon, and it has Dolby Atmos to help with the spatial audio. It's got a CNC machined aluminum body. Really, really good stuff here, folks. And then the ports, as you can see here, we'll go over all the ports in a moment. And then, of course, for those that want to pick one up, right now I don't have any pricing on the 2023 model, this particular model. I will get some information from my contact over at ASUS, but you can go over to Best Buy, link in the description below. You can pick the model up from last year for $25.99, and that has 16 gigabytes of RAM and an RTX 3060. So you may want to check that out. I don't know what this pricing is going to be, so we'll see that in a moment. And then, of course, I want to show you something else here. Now, let me pause it here. So this is a little cheat sheet that was given to me by ASUS, but this basically lays it out in a one-pager, all the different features that this has that we want to talk about. Again, you can check this out. You may want to pause it or watch the replay. I'll have this graphic up in a little bit as well. All right, so there you have it. So that is the specs on this unit. And do me a favor, if you have a question, put a Q before it. Helps me identify it in the chat a little bit easier. And then, of course, the other thing is you could do super stickers, super chats. That helps you get priority as far as your comment or question to be heard on this live stream. And of course, memberships are always open to help support the channel. Really could use your help, of course. We're really growing now. We're really getting to the next level, and that would certainly help. Now, with that being said, we have about 45, 46 of you already in the live stream. So I think we can get started here. It's a pretty big box here, as you can see here. So a little big boy. We'll see what goodies they have inside. ASUS always likes to give a lot of nice stuff in the box. So let's hopefully that this will be the case as well. All right, so let's put it on here. And you know the drill, folks. Without further ado, let's get this out of the box. Okay, well, that's a little bit of a complicated unboxing process, but I got to tell you, this is a pretty unique looking box here. There we go. Okay, we get a little nice case or sleeve here. That's always nice to include. It's a really nice one, actually. We'll take a look at that in a moment. And then, of course, we got the unit itself. But let's take a look at this real quick here. The Raphael, the box was humongous. Oh, wow. Okay, I'm not sure if this comes in the box normally in the retail packaging. I'll have to reach out to ASUS, but what a nice little backpack here. Wow, this is pretty nice. You can see it here. It's got some pretty nice durable material here, and it's got a sleeve in here. It's got a little pocket in here. Pretty nicely done here, ASUS. I like that you include this at this in the box here. Now, I don't know. Again, I'm hoping the retail packaging will have this, but again, I don't have any information. And then you have a side entrance here, I guess. Yeah, so this is a pretty nice little bag they give you. And again, it's in the box, so hopefully that will be included. So nice little touch there. We'll take a look at that, hopefully if we have some time later. Nicely done. And a really nice package here. Okay. So let's see how this is going to open up. Let's stand this up. So this is what it looks like. Okay. So it's here and you can see from behind. This is some pretty unique packaging here. All right, let's lift this up. Wow, that looks pretty clean, huh? So we can see here, we get some documentation here. So we get some OLED information. We've seen this before. And in here, let's see. Wow, look at that. So that's a pretty nice little package here, huh? You can see it here. And that's where the power charger and everything. Great packaging. I agree, Raphael. Let's take everything out one by one here. So it looks like we get the pen here, okay? So the ASUS Pen 2.0. As I told you, this does have pen support right there. Okay, let's put that to the side. We get some, well, let's get to the power charger here. This one is a nice brick here, 280 watts, okay? So you can see it there. Power charger is, of course, going to bring juice to this, and you're going to need something a little bit beefier. Of course, it's got a 4080 RTX. It's got a barrel pin connection here, okay? And then, of course, you get your power cord, okay? And I think we get some documentation in here. So, in search of incredible, we've seen this before, yada, yada, yada. And then some more information here. Again, just standard packaging, but again, oh, here's something else. We get a Ethernet adapter to Type A. That's pretty interesting. Nice to include that as well. So a lot of goodies in the box, folks. So not too bad, not too bad. And we're going to see what this is going to bring to the table. This has a really nice display, obviously. Really high-end packaging, folks. Pretty nice. Let's put this all away. We'll keep the pen on here just so we can get a weight and measurement with everything. Okay. Boy, this looks absolutely gorgeous. Wow. This is really, really good. Whew. Now, this is called the Tech Black. Hopefully, this will keep the fingerprints off, but it's got a nice cylindrical design to it. You can see the reflection there. It's actually pretty gorgeous. The presentation is bar none one of the best I've seen in a long time. And here you can see it from the underside right there, okay? And then if we bring it over here, you see how gorgeous this jet black is. Now, I'm starting to see a little bit of the fingerprints, of course. That, of course, is something to be expected. Again, jet black, although it looks pretty gorgeous, I'm expecting when it stays clean, it's going to be absolutely gorgeous, folks. So looking pretty good. Beautiful, absolutely, Raphael. Okay, so let's bring it over here. All right, let's see if we can open this with one finger. We certainly can, and I want to show you something. So when we open it up, you can see it here. There's a little lip there. You can sort of get a nice grip with it. Look at that. The keyboard lifts and raises to give it a nice ergo lift hinge in a sense, allowing for airflow and giving you a raised typing angle, okay? This is absolutely gorgeous, folks. Let's give it a listen to the keyboard real quick. Okay, so now we're talking about enhanced touch experience according to this. So this has got the numpad 2.0, enlarged touchpad according to this, and it's got the click anywhere haptic touchpad. So this is a haptic touchpad. All right, that's really good. So when I move it, there's nothing here to move. There's no diving board style. It's haptic. So that's been pretty good, okay? Now, as far as the screen, it goes back as far as you see there. And again, really nice display, nice, we'll get to the display in a moment, nice keyboard. All right, so now let's take a look at some of the ports here. Okay, let's start off on the left side. You get your power port right there. You get your USB-A port. You get two Thunderbolt 4 ports. They should be full function, hopefully. We'll get into that in a moment. On this side, you get your HDMI, you get a headphone jack, microphone headphone combo jack, full-size SD card reader, and that looks like it's it. So in the box, of course, is that adapter for the Ethernet port, the LAN port. That's good too, that they did include that. It's not on the unit itself. And then here's another closer look at the keyboard. Okay, we're going to talk about the ASUS dial in a moment when we power it on. That's going to be pretty interesting, as certain applications will take advantage of it, and certainly the system, the OS will take advantage of it. So we'll see, okay? The left of the touchpad, again, this is the ASUS dial. Like I said, we'll get into that in a moment. All right, let's see if we can power this on. Let me plug it in. But before we do that, let's get a weight check here. And obviously we have the pen here. Let's get the pen out real quick so we can get a measurement with everything here. I can get it out here. Okay, so the pen comes with an adapter, USB Type-C to USB Type-C. That will charge this. And then, of course, the ASUS Pen 2.0 here. You get some extra pen tips you can see right there. There they go. And then let's open this up and get the pen out. Okay. And let's put this away. So nice to get 3 extra pen tips. You also get a pen or tip remover tool as well. Okay. So this is the pen. Okay, it's a pretty comfortable pen actually, looking good. All right, let's put that to the side. Let's get a measurement of the weight here. So kilograms, 2.424 kilograms. And then if we want to get it with pounds, we're looking at 5 pounds, 5.5 ounces. All right, now, if we want to get to the weight with the charger, okay, so this is the power cord and the 280 watt power charger. You're looking at 3.208 kilograms. And then, of course, with the pounds, you're looking at, let me get it, 7 pounds, 1.2 ounces or 1.1 ounces. And then with the pen, let's just put the pen on there, total travel weight, again, without the knapsack or the backpack they give you, 7 pounds, 1.7 ounces. And again, if you want with kilograms, we're looking at 3.224 kilograms. So definitely a big boy here, but definitely packs a lot of power under the hood. So very, very good. Now, if you're a content creator, you're going to love this because this has got a lot that it offers as far as the CPU, the GPU, and all that. Okay, let me plug it in. Give me a second as I will plug this charger in. We're going to use the included charger here, 280 watts. And let me take this off. Okay, give me just a second as we power this on. And again, we'll see if USB will power this as well. But of course, to power that GPU, you're going to need more power. Okay. Okay, there we go. That's plugged in. Let's turn it on. It's lighting up. You can see the back of it. And let's see what we got here. Okay. All right, that's a gorgeous display, folks. You can see it here. Wow, that is pretty gorgeous. That's an OLED display, 3200 by 2000. It's a 16:10 aspect ratio. It's a touch display. I don't know if this has any juice. Might have to charge this. And this is how it charges, by the way. See, that'll... Okay. So let me plug this in real quick. Let me get some juice into this. Actually, I'll use this one. I have a USB-C charger here. So let that charge up a little bit. There's the brick, 280 watts. You can see that there. Okay, absolutely gorgeous here, folks. Let me know if you have any comments or questions. Okay, so we do have this touchpad here, and you can see it here. It comes up over here. Well, I'm going to plug it in. Let me plug it into my Thunderbolt dock here. Okay, so you can see what I'm doing. All right, now you can see what I'm doing. And when I touch this screen pad here, or this dial here, I should say, you could do the system volume, the system brightness, and that's the brightness. So if you want to see what I'm doing here, I'm lowering the brightness there, and then I'm bringing it all the way up. And then, of course, you can do the volume, and now it's all the way up. Okay, 100% volume. So you can see what I'm doing there. And again, pretty smooth, very fluid. Now, this is a haptic touchpad. It's got the screen pad and all that crap. There it is. And then you could dim that. Okay. You can see it here. And again, that's the dimmer display there. And then, of course, there. And then you could turn it off with that. All right. Now, this display is absolutely gorgeous. Let's go to see the display settings here. So we can go to the advanced display settings, and you can, let's see as that loads in. All right, so let's take a look at the resolution, 3200 by 2000. Go to advanced display settings. It's set on 120 hertz, or you can do 60. Let's keep it at 120. I didn't see an option for dynamic. That might be in the ASUS app. If it does have dynamic refresh rate, we'll have to investigate that. This is the target customer, Amit D, is going to be content creators. I think people who create video content, do Photoshop, Lightroom, they're going to need something with this caliber of display, with this kind of horsepower, right? I think that's what this is geared towards. It's really made for it to be productive in that sense. I love this raised typing angle here. The backlight is pretty cool. It's lighting up different colors. We can control that, I'm sure, in the ASUS app and so forth. We'll get a look at that a little bit later. We have the pen here. Let's see if it's got any juice now. Yep, it does. You can see it there. So let's keep charging that a little bit more. And that shouldn't take too long. And that is a pretty nice package here. Now, 6-speaker system. It's Harman Kardon tuned, and it does have Dolby Atmos. We're going to get a sound test in a little bit. Is it possible to lower with resolution like 2K? Well, I don't know if this comes in any other flavor in terms of the display, so that will have to be looked into. But right now, again, 3200 by 2000, so just below 4K at this point. 3200 by 2000, a pretty interesting resolution. 16-inch display here. Again, like I said, touch display, supports touch. It has pen support. Looking pretty good. All right, let me load in. Let me connect this to my network. Let me put it on me for a second. Keyboard feels pretty good, folks. Pretty nice. Okay, let me go into Geekbench. I love the fact that this is angled up. So the keyboard is very comfortable. You can see it here. To have this raised typing angle makes this very, very comfortable. The initial impression I have that it's very, very comfortable. This should be a very color accurate display. I mean, it's got all the, the bells and whistles when it comes to this display. How is the true type fonts rendered since an OLED? I don't know, Richard. I just got it. I'm expecting this to have top of the line features, but again, until we get the numbers, till we do our own testing, we'll have to reserve judgment. But so far, looking really good. This is a very bright display. I love this. You have this little dial here. You could do window zoom in and zoom out. Wow, that's pretty cool. And then what is this? This, again, application specific with this dial. And then let's see what this is. Cycle through open tabs. I only have one tab. And then YouTube. Let's see what this is. YouTube timeline. Again, I'm not connected to YouTube right now, so pretty interesting. I like the little features that they're including with this. Very, very interesting. All right, so that's downloading. Let's see if I have it already. Let me go to the downloads. And of course, I'll have to put this in the performance mode. Right now, I don't hear the fans all that much. We're going to probably have to put it into the ultra performance mode and also for cooling, it's good. I think with this raised angle, it certainly gives more airflow into the below this, allowing the heat to escape. That would definitely be pretty good. That's for sure. And I think what it brings to the table is a twofold here. Again, raised typing angle makes it more comfortable, and then increased airflow. Can't go wrong with that. So looking good so far. All right, let's put in Geekbench 6.1 really, and let's run the first benchmark here. Let's open that up. McAfee's on here. We'll probably have to get rid of that at some point because it's going to take up resources. And let me close this. Let me go to the Windows setting here. You can see what I'm doing here. Let's go to the power and sleep settings, and let me put it, right now it's on balance, but let's put it in best performance. And then the My ASUS app, well, not that one, hold on. Yeah, so let's go to this, and let's go to the fan profile here. And it's got a mux switch, folks. That's good to see on this, a mux switch. Nice to see that. That allows you to switch between the discrete graphics and the integrated. All right, let's put it on the performance mode. And already I hear the fans kicking in. Not too surprising. It looked like it had a vapor chamber cooling in it. We'll take a look at the insides at some point. And then, of course, it has liquid metal cooling according to that one sheeter that I showed you. All right, so now that we've put the performance mode into its proper mode, and let's say, don't show this again. Okay, let's end later. Okay, so right now we're looking at 13th Gen Core i9 13905H, 14 cores, 20 threads. Let's run the CPU. Okay. Is McAfee on there? Yes, Raphael, it is, but I'm keeping it on for now. 6-speaker system should sound pretty good. When will it be in the market? Hopefully soon. I'm going to reach out to my contact at ASUS. I don't have that information just yet. I will get some more information. There is a link to last year's model if you're in the US. Check it out at Best Buy. Again, link in the description below. We only have 31 likes. What's going on, folks? We got about 50 of you watching. All right. If 3.2K is too high, don't buy it. Yeah, well, this is for content creators, folks. We need a high resolution display, right? We need to have the color accuracy. We need a high pixel count. We want good coverage of the color gamut. And that's what this OLED display presumably brings to the table. But if history's any indication, it's going to have all those attributes. That's for sure. All right, so let's get this. So this is running that. Fans aren't too loud right now. And again, having this little ergo lift hinge on the keyboard, the way it lifts up brings the airflow. You can see it there. Pretty nice design by the engineers over at ASUS. A very nice, handy feature for sure. That is correct, Raphael. All right. So we roll down here, Dell XPS 9730 UHD Plus, or this one. I don't know. I just took it out of the box, but this is a pretty interesting device. It has a more powerful GPU, and we're going to get. I want to find out what the TGP of that is. We're gonna go into the NVIDIA app in a moment to see what the power limits are here. We'll take a look at that as well. So again, XPS 17 has a 17-inch, obviously comes in actually, I think, a little bit lighter than this, believe it or not. This is a pretty big boy, and they give you that nice little backpack in the box. So there you go. You can rewind Terminator. Rewind. It's going to stay up as a replay. That's for sure. We're looking at the ASUS Zenbook Pro 16X OLED, the UX7602, a 16-inch pro-level laptop here. No other way to look at it. A gorgeous display here. Really great keyboard that lifts up, gives you airflow, gives you a nice raised typing angle for ergonomics. You got your ASUS screen dial here. You got the screen pad. Everything is working well. Now, this is a haptic touchpad. And by the way, people, so far, this haptic touchpad is feeling pretty good. And we're going to test that a little bit more. But nice to see a haptic touchpad. The haptic engine, the feedback feels pretty good. It is a big boy. It is a big boy. What's the target customer segment of this laptop, in my opinion? Like I said, I said it a little bit earlier. The customer segment on this will be content creators, people who do video editing, content creation, Lightroom, Photoshop, DaVinci Resolve, Premiere Pro, those kind of tasks. I think this is what this is geared towards. Is going to get a high-end display, high-feature display, especially coverage of the color gamut. It's going to be excellent. You're going to have very color-accurate display here. Pantone, I believe this is Pantone calibrated, if I'm not mistaken. It's going to have a high DCI-P3 color gamut coverage. So again, color accuracy is going to be the big thing here. That's who's going to look at this. I don't know the cost. I don't have that yet. I don't know if it's officially released just yet. There is a link to last year's model. If it's any indication, $24.99 over at Best Buy. I would imagine it's going to be in that range, or maybe a little bit above, since it has the most up-to-date specs. It has an RTX 4080 in this, folks. We're going to get a look at that in a moment. Again, with this first benchmark, take it with a grain of salt. I still have to do the updates. I still have to make sure there are no driver updates that need to be installed that will affect performance. So just keep that in mind, okay? Just do me that favor. But this will give us an inkling of what we can expect on a laptop of this caliber. It's a pretty decked out, I got to tell you. All right, so we're getting our score here, pretty impressive. So we have a single core score of 2,802 and a multi-core score of 15,534. Not too bad, folks. That's really good. All right, let me take a screenshot. All right, that is pretty impressive. Now, before we get to the next test here, we'll do the GPU benchmark, but I want to load in NVIDIA here. I want to see what the TGP of this GPU is, the RTX 4080. Let me agree and continue on that. And let's bring this up. Let me go to the system information. So it's got a maximum graphics power of 160 watts. This is the 4080, folks. Let's see. Does it support dynamic boost? Yes. Max Q? Yes. Advanced Optimus? No. No Advanced Optimus, but a maximum graphics power of 160 watts. Graphics boost clock, 2280 megahertz. And there you go, folks. So 160 watts here. Okay, let's close that. Actually, let me take a screenshot of that so I have it for the video. Okay. There we go. Let me close that. And 15,500. That is my initial score. It might even go up, actually. All right. So let me go into Geekbench again, and let's run the GPU test. Again, the RTX 4080 has 12 gigabytes of VRAM on this. GDDR6 VRAM, for those that need that info. All right. What's the number pad look like? Right there. It's a haptic touchpad. This is the ASUS numpad. You could dim it. There you go. Get a sip of coffee here. It's a beast, Raphael. It's a beast. Can't wait to do my full benchmarking on it. We'll test gaming performance. We'll test all the metrics on this single multi-core score. We're going to test that display. We're going to test battery life in various scenarios. You know what we do here, folks. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. All right, pretty impressive stuff here. That's the OpenCL score. Let me take a screenshot. All right, now let's move on. Let's see what's the next one we can do. Let's do the, hold on, let's get here. Let's go to the download. Let me go to my drive here. Let's bring over some of these benchmarks here just to give an idea. This is pretty powerful stuff here. Let me move it to the downloads folder. All right. So far, impressive performance. And again, this is going to be geared towards those creators, those content creators that need that high-end video work, Lightroom, Photoshop, video editing, DaVinci Resolve, Premiere Pro. You're going to need this kind of graphic CPU and GPU combination here is what we're getting with this Core i9, what is it, 13905H. Okay, let's, and that's 14 cores, by the way. All right, let's go to the downloads. Let's do the Cinebench R15. That's a quick one. I'm curious to see what kind of score we're going to get out of that. So let me load that in here. Now, of course, I'll have a full review on this, as I always do. But doing these live unboxings allows me to record a lot of the footage I'm going to use. So kill two birds with one stone. And why not come along, see how the sausage is made, as they say, behind the scenes. All right, let's load that in. Okay. I am impressed with this. I'll tell you right now, I don't want to give this back. I'm going to have to give it back, but I'm impressed so far. All right, let's do the OpenGL score real quick. This is an older test, but this will test, that first one will test the GPU. This is a lot of fun, folks. I really don't want to give this back. I mean, look at this thing. Absolutely gorgeous. Love this tech black color. Very nice, folks. Very nice. You can see keyboard there. Really, really good stuff. 280 watt charger here. We got the pen. This should be good enough to start using. We'll see if there's a place to store it. And there's our first score. It's a pretty good one, actually. Let's go to 6 here. There we go. Let me take a screenshot of that, and then let me run the CPU test. It's real quick. Screen is absolutely gorgeous. Stunning, folks. OLED, 3200 by 2000, 16:10 aspect ratio, 120 hertz. What more can you ask? This is some pretty impressive scores. Wow. There's my screenshot. All right, we're done with the Cinebench R20, or I'm sorry, R15. Let's do the R20 next. Let me go to my downloads. We're going to do the R23 after that. We'll do a 5-minute modified test. We're not going to do the full test. I'll save that for the full review. It's very, very snappy, and expect it with this kind of power under the hood. Now, I love, again, like I said, this raised typing angle here. You can see it better here. Really nice. Now, you see some lighting there from the keyboard coming down over here on the sides. Pretty impressive. Very nice here. You can see, again, this is the back of the unit. There's some venting on the back there from it's where it's dissipating a lot of that heat. It's coming through there. I don't know how the battery life is going to be, but it has a pretty big battery. I think it's a 96 watt-hour battery. Okay, we'll see. In fact, I can show you my one-sheeter here. Actually, that's what the last year's internals. We'll get to that in a moment. But this is what the one-sheeter says. So we're talking about, let me look, 185 TDP. Okay, according to that. The GPU will have a TGP of 160. What did I say? 160 watts? Or was it? Yeah, I think I said 160. We'll double check that again. And then it's a 90. Where's the battery here? It's got to say it here somewhere. 96 watt hours or something like that. It's not on the sheet. If not, I have it on the other thing. Let me go back over here. $96 watt hours right there. Okay. Just wanted to make sure. Okay, so let's accept this, and then let's run the Cinebench R20. This will test the CPU. Again, it's the Core i9-13905H. 14 cores, that's 8. Well, actually, let me take a look. I don't know if that's 8 performance cores and 6 efficient, or is it reverse? So let's see. Core i9-13905H. Let's take a look. I'm just researching while we're doing this. 905H is 14 cores, 6 performance. Okay, so it is 6 performance and 8 efficient. I just wanted to make sure. And a total of 20 threads. It's a 45-watt CPU. All right. What do the speakers sound like, Terminator? We're going to get to that next. Or not next. We're going to do the we'll do the Cinebench R23. We'll put it in the backpack as well. And for those wondering what we're talking about, they gave you this really nice backpack right here. You can see it there. And that is going to be a really nice touch. Well, it is a really nice touch. Hopefully, this will be in all retail units. I'm hoping that is the case. I'll double check that. You get a free backpack when you put it in. There you go. There you go. All right. We'll take a look at that. And of course, we'll take a look at the webcam. Oh, this is a really good score. In fact, this is one of the best scores I've seen on this. Check this out. On the Cinebench R20 is 7496. Wow. That is pretty impressive. All right. Let's load in the Cinebench R23 next. I'm really curious now, the single multi-core. And I'm going to do a 5-minute modified test. We're not going to do the full 10-minute test for each one. So it would be a total of 20 minutes. Instead, we'll do 10 minutes. We have a nice super chat from our good friend, Mr. Rainbow Loves Coffee. All right, let's give it up for him for the nice $10 super chat. Thank you for showing us this amazing ASUS laptop. And thank you for being such a great supporter of the channel. I do really appreciate it. Good to see William here. What about the screen reflection? So I have a lot of studio lights. It is a glossy display, OLED. It is absolutely gorgeous. It's pretty glossy, I got to tell you, but I haven't really, but because it gets so bright, and I'll test the brightness in my review, but it looks like it's going to have at least a 550 nit peak brightness on this. So hopefully it'll cancel out any of the screen reflectiveness that we might come across here. All right, let me load this in. So far, looking really, really good, folks. This is a look, and this is the haptic touchpad looking good so far. Did I not load that? Oh, there it is. Okay, let's accept that. And let's go to the settings here. Let me go to the preferences. Let's make it a 5-minute custom test. And let's go into the advanced benchmark here. So let's go to that 5 minutes. Boom. Let's start it. Okay. So while that's running, I definitely hear the fans going. So what that means for us is we're going to check out the thermals right now. I'm going to do some calculations here. And we'll get a decibel meter measurement as well. Okay, we're looking at about 54 decibels, which is pretty loud. But I've heard even worse, believe it or not. But again, we're on full blast here, full performance mode, of course. So I didn't hear it all that much when we were doing normal tasks. So just keep that in mind. But it is noticeable, that's for sure. Now, let me get out my camera, my thermal imaging camera from FLIR. Okay, let me load it onto my Galaxy Z Fold 4. While that loads in, we'll get that ready, and we'll take some measurements here. I'm waiting for that to warm up. Very little screen wobble, William. My desk does shake a little bit. About 38 over here and 39 by the screen, because this is where the heat is coming up from this vent over here. It's getting about 39. Nothing terrible. Actually pretty good. Okay, let me go to the side. .37 where this vent is over here where the keyboard lifts up. All right, let's go look over here. .36 over here. Then let me do the underside. Very nice. 39 over here. Okay, so about 39.40 over here. Not too bad. This is the vent where it's all coming out, the heat. All right, very good stuff here. So it does get about 54, 55 decibels, so definitely noticeable, but they keep it really cool. So looking good so far as that is concerned, although that fan noise might be an issue for some. Again, we're in the performance mode. I don't think it's going to be much of an issue when you're in the balance mode and so forth, when you're doing normal tasks, but when you're pushing the limits here, you'll definitely notice that. Okay, so that's the measurements. I'll do internal testing as well, but I'll do that for the full review. Got to save something for the full review. But so far, this remained cool. And I think this does a good job of dissipating the heat from here and here. Although it does bring the heat to the screen over here. That's why I saw about 39, 40 degrees Celsius over there. But nothing to be concerned about. Nothing at all. In fact, it's staying really cool. Just a feel, it's hardly a little bit, maybe a little bit warm, but nothing to be concerned about at all. You could use this on your lap. Wow, that's a good score. All right, let's go to the results here. A multi-core score, and again, modified Cinebench R23, 18,413 on that multi-core. All right, pretty good. Yeah, it is cool, Donald. They did a good job here. All right, now let's go to the CPU single core. That's pretty impressive, 18,413. I do too. I think, Raphael, I think the way the keyboard raises gives it a couple of good things here. One, you're getting a raised typing angle. It's ergonomically good. It's going to be more comfortable for long-term typing. And the second thing that it brings to the table is it's going to give you better airflow because it will allow for the heat to dissipate a little bit easier. And I think that's why we're seeing cooler temperatures on the surface here. So really good so far. Arcane, no question, it's an excellent score. This, folks, I'm excited. I heard, I don't get excited all that often. This is exciting. This laptop is looking really good so far. It packs a lot of power so far. And it's a pretty gorgeous laptop. What score has the M2 Max? We got to look. I have it here somewhere. Let me take a look. Hold on. So MacBook Pro M.2 Max Cinebench R23. So according to Reddit, and I'll just use a Reddit score, it got a maximum score. This is the M Pro M2 Max, 14,724, and this got 18,413. So very impressive. All right, we got another super chat from Mr. Rainbow Loves Coffee. Another $5. Thank you, my friend. Very generous of you. And Raphael, back-to-back super chats with $2. Thank you, Raphael. I appreciate it as always. All right, so I'm looking here according to MacBook Pro M2 Max benchmarks here. We're looking at, again, multi-core score, 14,724. This got 18,413. So a better multi-core score. The M1 Pro only has 12,125. No, this is packing more power. Now, one thing you have to note, the fan noise does kick in a lot. I hardly get the fan noise on my MacBook Pro, M1 Pro, but this will give you more power. There's no question. I agree, Richie. Really good score. All right. So we're doing the Cinebench R23 modified 5-minute test. Of course, I will do a full Cinebench run in the full review, but just to give us an idea, it's looking good. And we're right now running the Cinebench R23 single core score, and we'll get that in a couple of minutes. All right. Now, while we're doing that, let's take a look. Now, this was last year's model as far as the internals. Not this one. I always get the buttons mixed up. So this was last year, apparently. I don't know if I'm going to open it up on the live stream. I have to ask them if it's okay. I don't want to do anything I'm not supposed to do on this. So I will double check, and I didn't get a chance to. But I will take a look at that. Now, by the way, and the RAM is soldered in. I don't see any RAM slots in this one. I think they're soldering into the motherboard. That might be a negative, folks. We'll talk more about that soon. But yeah, so that would be definitely something I'd like to see, but I don't know if we're going to get it. Now, I did forget to tell, so let me bring that back up from that $5 super chat. What was your first laptop you ever had? For me, it was the HP back in 1998. Well, I'm going to date myself a little bit. My first laptop, I guess do we consider this a laptop? You tell me. The Apple IIc. Now, that was a portable in its own right, although I wouldn't call portable. There was a display you can get that made it into a laptop, and this was in the 80s, folks, so I'm dating myself. So that might be my first laptop. Then after that, I think I had a PowerBook Duo, but I don't remember the exact model. Something like that in the 90s. And then I started getting ThinkPads. I've had ThinkPads for years, just so you know. But that's dating myself. I am 51 years old. Yeah, good to see David Allen. Solid laptop. Oh, absolutely, David. The numbers I'm seeing on this are very impressive. The motherboard is upside down. Maybe the memory's at the other side. No, I don't think so, because maybe it shows it on here, and I don't think it does. But they're doing something called, let me see here. So I don't think, so it has vapor chamber. It has ASUS 3D curve. Let's see, where is that? They're calling it something in the press materials. I think everything is soldered in as far as, not the RAM, not the SSD, that's upgradable. I think it's the, I don't know if they're showing it here. I'm looking on, there's a lot of information on the sheet here. I don't think it's on here, but it is soldered in. It is soldered in. So David Allen had the TRS 80. Wow, Radio Shack. Yeah, that's good. That's good stuff. Well, we'll take a look at it. In fact, I think it's over here. Let me look on their website. Okay, so they're calling it the innovative Supernova SOM design. Okay, whatever that means. So it says, according to this, their website, Zenbook Pro 16X OLED is a no-compromise creator laptop with a wealth of innovative design features and a brand new all-metal design. Inside, it features a new breakthrough, ultra-compact ASUS Supernova system on a module, or SOM, design that enables ultra-powerful performance from the Intel Core i9-13905H, NVIDIA GeForce RTX 4080, LPDDR5X DRAM, and 7467 megahertz RAM. So that's telling me it's soldered in. It's got the new Active Aerodynamic System Ultra, or what they call the AAS Ultra, which powers the auto-tilting keyboard that ensures a comfortable typing angle and also enhances the system cooling. And actually, it does work because we're seeing pretty cool temperatures here. All right, we got our result here, and that is 2048. Wow, that is a really good score, folks. Holy smokes. This is really impressive. All right. If they had a model with a 4050 GPU, that would be even better. Well, this is a 4080, and maybe cooling solution might be a little bit better, but I think so far it's remained pretty cool in the initial testing that we've done. And Mr. Rainbow is 57 years old, so I'm not the oldest here, but you're a spring chicken, Mr. Rainbow Loves Coffee. So they're doing it the Apple way. I don't know what upside down, or being soldered in. Yeah, I guess they are. Question from William. Thank you for putting a Q before that. How much differences do you see when running the 5-minute test versus the 10-minute test on Cinebench R23? That's a very good question, William. And that is something I've noticed. So when I run the 5-minute modified test, the scores are, I would say, about 10 to 15% higher. When I run the 10-minute test, which is the thermal throttling test, that I noticed will be about 10%, maybe 10 to 15% at most, less. So that's what I did notice. But even under that scenario, and again, I haven't run the full test, I'm seeing this is pretty impressive numbers so far for that 5-minute test. So let's talk about this. Okay, so what's left over here? This is the screen dial. So what's happening is, and you can see it a little bit better here. So you notice it here. So I can do the system brightness. So it's pretty responsive. It's very smooth. And there you go. And then if I click it again, I can go to the volume. I can lower the volume. But it's also application specific. So if you have the Adobe suite of products, this will help you video editing, Photoshop, stuff like that. So Adobe has it. Again, when I'm on Chrome, or in this case, when I'm using Edge, it does application-specific stuff. So if I hit it, now it's saying Windows zoom in and zoom out. So if I do that, I can zoom in and zoom out. That's pretty impressive. That's pretty nice. And then, of course, you have the cycle through the open tab. So if I have more than one tab, let's do one tab, I can cycle between the two tabs, which is what I'm doing. So that's pretty interesting. And then if I'm on YouTube, I go to my YouTube timeline. I'm not logged into my YouTube account, but that would allow you to go to your YouTube timeline and then go through that, I guess. I'll show you more in that in the upcoming review. It's something like the Surface Dial. That is correct, Arcane. Something like the Surface Dial, that's for sure. And there it is. And we can get a close-up of it right here. And you can see it there, a little dark. I have to bump up the brightness, but you can see that there. And then again, this is a haptic touchpad. And that's been working out pretty good so far in the initial use we've had it, looking pretty good. All right, so that's that. So we got a good Cinebench R23. Let's test out the camera. Let me bring that up. We still have to test the SSD. That's next. So I don't think I'm going to open it up until I know if I'm allowed to. But again, SSD is going to be upgradable. I can tell you that right off the bat. And if it's anything like last year, the RAM is not. It's soldered into the motherboard. Okay. That's a little bit of a negative here. All right, so looking pretty good. This is 1080p. All right, that's looking pretty good. What do you think? Let me bring it up for you. So 1080p webcam, it's an IR webcam. That means you can log in with face recognition. Let me put it onto the video. There we go. Let me go to the settings. So video quality is 1080p. I don't see any of the studio effects and stuff like that, so I'm not sure. Maybe something in the ASUS app. I'll have to check that. But the initial impression is it's pretty good. I don't know if there's a physical shutter switch, but I think, yeah, on the keyboard, you can see it here. And if I go to this one, you can see here, there is a dedicated key right there for the webcam. So you can turn that off. So if I'm on a call and so forth, I want to turn that off. Boom, there it goes. It says camera off. And then if I press it again, camera on. Pretty clear, very quick, pretty instantaneous. It's very clear. I agree. Compare with the MacBook no, this is more powerful than the MacBook Air with some ASUS machine. Ratnesh, this is more powerful than the MacBook Air 15. First of all, that doesn't have active cooling. This does. It can't ramp up to the type of speeds that it does, or it can, but it will throttle down. This will show less in at least on paper. Camera looks good. Okay, there you go. All right, so that's the camera. Pretty good. We'll get a sample of the audio and stuff as far as that camera is concerned in a little bit. Actually, we'll just save that for the video. I'm not going to do that now. All right, so let's get the SSD speeds here. Let me go to my downloads. Let me go to Crystal Disk Mark and let me load that in, extract that. This won't take too long. I'm curious to see. I think this has 2 terabytes, if I'm not mistaken. We'll get that confirmed in a moment. And yeah, it's a 2 terabyte SSD. It should be PCIe Gen 4, according to the specs. And that's running. We'll know right away from the read if we get, yeah, so it's definitely Gen 4, 6,000. Yeah, I would say that's Gen 4 for certain. We've seen closer to 7,000 on other laptops. GPU is like 2-3 times. Oh, at least. That's where I think the pro part of this comes in, right? This is a pro level laptop. The MacBook Air 15 is a consumer level laptop. Trackpad's really good, Ayman. It's a haptic touchpad. Trackpad's very good. It's got the screen pad, as we showed earlier. You can do this, and there it comes in, and you can make it brighter. And the haptics on this is really good. The haptic engine's really good, and I'm really liking this screen dial. Oh, we're getting a good read here. It's 7,000. Okay, even better. So it did ramp up, and now it's 7,024. Pretty good. Okay. Good to see Nessa's Garden of Treasures here. Camera looks good. I agree. Let me check the stream here real quick. Very, very impressive stuff, folks. Yeah, these are good speeds, Raphael. We're now live for over 1 hour, hour and 5 minutes, actually. And we only have 55 likes. But we have 43 of you watching. Do me a favor, hit that like button. That certainly helps get it spread out over YouTube. All right. Okay. Thank you very much from Mr. Rainbow Loves Coffee, Needs Sleep. It's 9 p.m. in Tel Aviv. Good night, my friend. And thank you for your super chat. I do really appreciate it. And be good. All right. There you go. Yeah, so I would equate, this is something, and let me show you here. This is something like the Surface Dial, that's for sure. This is something like a Surface Dial. Again, when you're just on the desktop, you're going to have system volume. And again, I have to look to see how much customization we can do on this. But you can do the system brightness. Very, very nice. And then if I want to do volume, boom. There we go. Volume's 100%. There you go. Very, very, very very responsive. Very good. I like it. Richie, I reached out to Framework. Nothing yet, unfortunately. I was hoping I'd get something in by now, but nope, no dice, my friend. I was told I was going to get a review unit at some point, but nothing happened with that. I was thinking of ordering one, but you know, it's getting expensive to start ordering all this stuff. That's for sure. So maybe I'll wait a little bit longer, trying to get that AMD model in, but you know, we'll see. We'll see. I guess they're not even returning my emails at this point. So that tells me something, I guess. I don't know. But I'll be honest with you, I've got so much stuff right now that it'd be backlogged anyway. I am so... If anybody says there's a shortage of product right now, they're lying. There's no more shortage, folks. I am so inundated with product right now that we're good for the next 2-3 months. That's for sure. So if anybody tells you, oh, there's a supply shortage, I don't think so. Because if there is, I have all the product because that's how much stuff has come in. So make sure you are subscribed to the channel. All right, so this is the results so far. 7,024 on the read, 5,254 on the write. These are very impressive, very fast speeds, of course, at a 2 terabyte SSD. Now, the screen is reflective for SBK Pilot 111 or 11. I do have a lot of lights here, and it is on the brightest setting, but let's go to the screen pad here, or the dial, and let me go to the brightness. There you go. And it's a beautiful display. It is absolutely gorgeous. But I do have a lot of studio lights. Just keep that in mind. But I've seen worse. I think the Samsung was a lot worse than this. And it is a bright display. It's a bright display. Okay, let me take my screenshot of this. Boom, boom. Let's take a look at the pen real quick. So the pen works pretty good. Let me scroll on a website. Very responsive. This is 120 hertz. It's a great display. Now, this is as far back as this goes. And again, not a convertible, but having the pen, especially if you're creative doing Lightroom, it certainly can help. And especially if you need to touch something up or what have you, this certainly will do the job there. That's definitely good. This is an absolutely gorgeous display. Absolutely gorgeous display. And when I'm scrolling on this haptic touchpad, all right, now we wanted to, somebody asked earlier, they wanted to see this inside the backpack. We can take a look at that. But I do want to see if there's a place for the pen to store maybe magnetically. I don't think so. I didn't see anything. I mean, I didn't read anything maybe on the side. I don't know. I'll have to double check that. Nothing on the lid here. I don't feel any magnets. But again, it's probably one of the reasons they put the backpack in. So let's see this backpack. Let's unplug this for now. And let's close this. Okay. So let's put this into the backpack. So having these extra sleeves here, and you can see here, you could put the pen in somewhere. I'm sure there's a little pocket within the laptop, but this is where you could put your charger in here. And then again, you know, is it the best backpack you're going to get on the market? No, but it's something nice that they include at no additional cost. And I hope that's the case with everybody who buys this. I hope that's in the retail packaging. It looked like retail packaging to me. And there it is in the backpack. And then you could put the pen in here or in one of the other sleeves or little pockets. And you can see it here. And again, there it is. Boom. Nice little touch here. Nice fabric material. Looks pretty durable too. And it's got a little bit of padding here. Not something you normally see on a giveaway, you know, something that's thrown in there. So there you go. I want to welcome Nessa's Garden of Treasure as a member of the channel. I appreciate that. And I appreciate that. I really do. She's now become a member of the channel. I do really, really appreciate it. Fits perfectly. Yeah, they did a good job here. Folks, they did a really nice job. I like this little backpack. It has ASUS branding right there. You can see it there. Then when you're all done, you just pack up your charger, boom, put it into the pocket here and zip it up and you're ready to rock and roll. There's even a little pouch here for like a drink or something, or just something you can throw in there that you want to have easy access to. And then on the side here, it does have a little place maybe for a few extra trinkets here and there. And you can see it here. So a really nice little backpack here. Not too bad. And feels pretty good, right? It does have good. Yes, it does have pen support. It does have pen support. And this is the pen. So very, very good. And if you want to charge it, comes with a little adapter that allows you to charge it with USB-C to USB-C. And then you just, plug it in, boom. Has a little racer top on the top there. That's pressable. You can press that and activate, I guess, other features. I'll talk more about it in the upcoming review. So it probably connects via Bluetooth, I would imagine. And we'll get more into that pen in the video. I like what is going on here. All right. So let's do a sound test with the 6 speakers, of course. Let's get an idea of just how good this sounds. And again, having this nice little backpack is a nice touch, I think. Now, I am seeing a little bit of fingerprints. Maybe in the backpack we should put one of these cloths. Okay. Not too bad, though. I've seen worse, and has that little Star Trek logo they've been using. Okay. All right, so let's get the sound test. Let me plug it back in for now. Okay, and let me put it on me for a second. Let me go to Epidemic Sound. Love this raised typing angle. This is really good. And the keyboard feels good. I like the key travel on it. Okay. Now, 6-speaker sound system, Harman Kardon. Okay, putting that in. Let's log in. Hopefully I did that correctly. Okay, let's go to my like sounds here. All right, let me put it over here. Let's do, let's make sure, first of all, let's put on the dial here. Let's go to the volume. Actually, let's just use this for now because I think it's specific to the application. Okay, 100% volume. Let's do this. Let me switch microphones. Well, before we do that, let me go to the Dolby, make sure it's on the right setting. I want to have the best sound. Give me a second. Let's go to settings. Okay, it's on music, but I'm going to put it on dynamic. I like the dynamic as the best overall sound. Now we can play it. That's pretty impressive. That's really good. Let's see now I have the MacBook Pro here. This is 6 speakers also, smaller device, but of course the 6-speaker sound system is also in the MacBook Pro 16. But let me go to my saved sounds. And then we'll get we'll do the sound test right now. We can keep that over there. Actually, I don't like this. We don't need to be plugged in. Okay. Let's get everything organized here because I'll use this probably in the video. All right, we'll start off with the ASUS, and then we'll get to the MacBook, okay? So let's go rewind that. And this is on 100% volume. Okay, let me turn it on.
Hello, honey, how you been? Oh, it's been such a long time. I can feel my heart jumping. Are you still mine? Now, hello, honey, how you been? Oh, it's been such a long time. I can feel my heart jumping. Are you still mine? When you're not there, no. But I come close a time or two. And when you're not there, no. But I come close a time or two. I guess it wasn't meant to be. But never mind what's new with you, oh you. I guess it wasn't meant to be. But never mind what's new with you, oh you.
What do you think? I think this sounds really good. I'll tell you that much. But I want to know what you think. This is great. This is certainly very good, especially for a 14-inch laptop. There's nothing better. But I got to tell you, this 6-speaker sound system on this is really impressive. Let me know in the comments, or if you're watching as a replay, or of course, if you're watching live now, let me know. Very impressive speakers. Again, 6 speakers, Harman Kardon tuned, really, really good. Now, Richie's saying the sound, the MacBook sounds a little bit better. The highs are better, but it's close. Apple wins the sound test according to Spinfrost. What I will say is this might get a little bit louder. This might sound a little bit fuller. Does that make any sense of what I'm saying here? Yeah, I think what William is saying holds true. But I got to tell you, as for a Windows laptop, a creator's laptop, this is up there. This is one of the best out there right now. There's no question. The Mac has a little bass, more bass than the Asus, but Asus has more clarity. Very, very close here, folks. Closer than I thought. Yeah, I agree, Forrest Gump. The Mac has more bass. Very interesting. Maybe another. Let's try a different. Let's try another song here. Let's try this one.
There's another side of you. There's another side of you. No one gets to know. No one gets to know. Only strangers in the night. It's where you wanna go. Only strangers in the night. It's where you wanna go.
So this is louder for sure, especially on that song. It is louder. This has a little bit more bass. This is impressive, though. I gotta say, this is the closest I've gotten to beating this. But I think the overall sound is a little bit more richer on this one. Maybe not as loud as this, but maybe a little bit more fuller. I think that's the takeaway I get. But again, the gap has narrowed. I think the gap has narrowed. Yeah, Raphael, I agree. I'm impressed with this. And again, it makes sense, right? I mean, this is a creator's laptop, right? So you want to have excellent sound. Of course, it has a 3.5 millimeter microphone headphone combo jack. So if you want to use wired headphones, if you want to use Bluetooth headphones, you can. So does the Mac, of course. But on a Windows side of things, especially for creative laptop, this brings something unique to the table that we haven't really seen all that much. And this certainly fits the bill. And the power that this has with that RTX 4080 and the Core i9 in this, the Core i9 13905H, 45 watt CPU, is a nice powerful combination here. I think the highs, I think that's right, Richie. I think you got you nailed that. The highs are better on the Mac. They do a excellent job. And let's keep in mind, this is a 14-inch laptop versus a 16, a much bigger device. And I'm curious, I don't have a 16-inch MacBook Pro with the M series here. I do have the one with the Intel from 2019, but I don't have that set up or anything for a sound test. But here's a 14-inch that is certainly pound for pound is one of the best, if not the best in the business. But this certainly holds its own. This is really, really good. And I'm very impressed with the sound. Very impressed with this laptop overall. So looking really good, folks. So far, the numbers are looking good. We're now at 1 hour and 23 minutes. I think that might do it for us. I think it's been really good. So thank you, MacBook Pro, for giving us a comparison here. But we're going to say goodbye for now. And I think the takeaway is very, very impressive stuff here. I definitely like what's going on here with what ASUS is doing here. Very impressive thermal so far. I did hear the fan noise in the mode, in the performance mode, but the keyboard's great. Love the raised typing angle. Love the screen dial. Love the screen pad, of course. Everything is great with this haptic touchpad. Looking good. So a lot more testing to come, folks. A lot more to do here. So make sure you are subscribed to the channel. A lot more to come. There's no shortage of review units that have come into the studio. So make sure you are subscribed. Make sure you hit that notification bell. So until next time, folks, I'll see you in the next video. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.